Hello students, I am your science teacher Punita. Today I will discuss some concepts on the gravitation. So what is gravitation? We all know that gravitation is a kind of force. So there is some force when we throw some objects on the upward direction and it falls towards the earth. So what is that? There is a kind of attraction towards the earth. That attraction is known as gravitation. But now question arises, why don't we see that kind of force? In this universe, every other object is attracting other object. Like I'm attracting towards my laptop is attracting towards me. But this attraction is not noticeable. Why this attraction is not noticeable? Because the distance is very, very small. So there is a universal law of gravitation. What it says? It says every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. This force is basically, if we go to the mathematical, this force is directly proportional to masses but inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Now students, if we are dividing one thing and we are already squaring that thing, so the result is very, very small. So that's why we can't judge the force between the two objects. So basically, what is force of gravitation? F is equal to capital G m1 m2 upon d square. Now, capital G is called the gravitational constant, which has the value 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. This force is basically constant. This can't be changed from place to place. So this law is applicable to all the bodies, whether the bodies are big or whether the bodies are small. So this is called the gravitational constant. So now what is the importance? Why is this force is important to us? This force binds us to earth, motion of the moon around the earth, motion of the planets around the sun, and the tides due to moon and the sun. So whenever you have a question in the mind, why the sun do not fall on the earth, why the moon doesn't fall on the earth, so there is one answer only, that is due to the gravitational force, and that force is directly proportional to masses but inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So this distance of this square distance is also known as the inverse square law. As you see that, this is called the inverse square law. Now, there is what is inverse square law? So there is a scientist known as Kepler that that has given the two laws, Kepler law. Orbit of planet is an eclipse with the sun at one of the foci. Now there is a difference between circle and the eclipse. As you know that circle is only one center, whereas eclipse like an egg, it has two focus. Okay. The lining joining the planet and the sun sweep equal areas in the equal intervals of time. Then cube of the mean distance of the planet from the sun is proportional to square of the orbital period t. R cube by t square is equal to constant. So this is the Kepler's law. So in this topic, in this class, we have discussed what is gravitation, what is inverse square law, and what are the postulates of the Kepler's law. In the next class, we will discuss about the small g, that is called the acceleration due to gravity.